lead dance contestants, Lamont and Melissa Simmons. Listen, on November 6th, we're hitting the dance floor doing the merengue and the waltz to raise money for Women Empowered International,
a nonprofit organization that inspires women worldwide to fulfill their dreams, as well as encourages them to give back to local and global communities.
We hope you'll support us by watching and giving.
Hey, everybody. It is FEM Talk Tuesday. And who is ready to dance after seeing our very own Mimi Melissa Simmons, girl bossed up, and her amazing husband, Lamont? You guys, if you have not gotten your tickets yet, go on to, look at the screen, IG at Mel Sims, and click the link in her profile, and get your tickets either virtually or live. If you want to go to Philadelphia, you can see them dancing live. Join the competition. It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. Alrighty, so we are talking tonight about women leaders, challenges, triumphs, and backbiting. Ooh. Gonna be good as usual. So I'm gonna bring the beautiful ladies of FEM Talk in, and we are going to get the conversation going. We have Mimi Melissa Simmons, girl bossed up. Hey, Melissa. Hello. And we have Shima She Talks.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, you guys. So before we get into any conversations, Melissa, are you ready to dance?
My body hurts everywhere because I've been twisting and turning.
Nice.
I love it.
We are trying.
Well, you're looking good. You're looking good on your videos. I must say that. You both are looking good. So I love the practices that you've been putting out on social media. It's looking good. You guys, again, go to Melissa's page on IG at Mel Sims, and get your tickets. If you can't make it virtually or be in the building with them, be sure to donate. This is for a good cause. It's for Women Empowered International. All right. And as you guys have heard before, Women Empowered is very intentional about doing exactly what we're talking about tonight, building women leaders. So go on there and make sure that you donate, you guys. All right. So before we get into it, we have our very own Aunt Jeanette there saying, hello, lady. Thank you, Aunt Jeanette, for joining us. We love you and we love the support. Thank you as always. That's one of our moms.
Yes.
That's our mom. All of us on here. That's our mom. So you guys.
She's a multi-mom.
Multi-mom.
That's right. So you guys, listen, we are talking about women leaders, okay? The challenges, the triumphs, and the backbiting. So I want to give one of the triumphs before we really get started in the conversation, because I was doing some research and looking up and found out that there is a female CEO who is the highest paid CEO of all CEOs. Her name is Lisa Su, and she is from, let me get it right now. Let me get it right.
Come on.
Advanced Micro Devices, and she is the highest paid CEO as of 2019. The report on salaries for 2019 by the Associated Press, Lisa actually made, and because this is public, we can say it, right? $58.5 million in 2019 as a CEO, $13 million more than any male CEO out there. So we want to give, listen, I'm going to bang on my FEM Talk glass. Woo! We want to give it out to Lisa for being the highest paid CEO. We're going to get into some of those conversations. So while we are just praising the women out there who are women leaders and that wonderful CEO who is, I get one of the best, she has to be, right?
Yep.
The highest paid CEO out there. Right. Just wanted to talk about some of the triumphs of women leaders and women making it to executive positions, and even women entrepreneurs who are building their businesses and doing their thing. One thing that was mentioned that I definitely can identify with women that I have seen in corporate is women, when they are in a leadership role, they have earned it, right? They've earned it. So it took a lot for them to get there, with
That's
all of the
right.
struggles. And we'll get into some of the struggles and challenges that they endure. But one of the triumphs is that they earned it, you know, either
Mhm.
through their experience, through their expertise, through their education and their knowledge and everything that they've gone through their management skills. They have earned it. So we want to also just give a hand clap to the women out there, because we know that it is not easy to get to a leadership role. And once you have made it, you have done what you needed to do to get there. So we just wanted to salute you for that. All
Yeah.
right.
And
So,
what it takes, and Tracy, what it takes to get there,
mhm.
you know, the true sacrifice that they have endured, and the sacrifice is real. The sacrifice of friends, sometimes family,
Mhm.
family times. A lot of women in leadership has delayed their relationships, having children,
Mhm.
going to new cities and countries by themselves to for that open door, that
Mhm.
opportunity that they're being told of. So the sacrifice that so many of them made in order to reach this pinnacle, and for that to be applauded, and to really be recognized, that it was not, nobody walked in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
They had to break it. They had to get a hatchet or a mallet and break it
Right. They had some thick
to
heels
get
on,
in.
right? To kick that
Yeah.
butt.
Mhm.
Yes.
It
And
becomes
I
a
wanted to
full-on
say too,
determination. Mhm.
yeah,
It has
absolutely.
to
And
be.
wanted to just expand on that a little bit, even to say, saluting them for, the sacrifices that they made, but keeping their families together in the process
Mm,
of building
Mhm.
their experience and their expertise, and building their career, but keeping their families together too, because we
Mhm.
know it's a sacrifice, but we also know, as women leaders ourselves, that we are very intentional about our families.
mhm.
So, and most women leaders out there are. So I'm gonna speak for them a little
Yeah.
bit in that regard, just to say, women really try to do it all. Sometimes
Mhm.
to a fault, right? Sometimes to a fault, but keeping intentional about keeping their families together,
Mhm.
even as they are moving forward and progressing in their careers. So
Yeah.
just wanted to mention that too. We salute you for that, because we know that it is hard, as we have done the same, all three of us here on this panel.
And
um,
something that Melissa was saying about they're you're saying intentional,
mhm.
and they are full on going or into it,
Mhm.
all knowing. It
Yeah.
is an absolute decision,
Mhm.
because regardless, I mean, we have choices daily.
Yeah.
You have to choose something.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
even if you have family, you have to choose. Not that you're choosing over your family,
Mhm.
but I'm choosing to do this, and full on knowing
Yeah.
what it entails most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
Most of the
most
time.
it entails. Yeah.
And just to speak a little bit on that, I remember when both my husband and I had to make a decision, like because when we first got married, we were both pursuing, careers.
Mhm.
And there came a crossroads
Mhm.
after our second child. And the conversation came, well, who's going to do this?
Mm.
Because it was clear that we both couldn't be out the house
Yeah.
with those kind of hours and time, and based on where both of our careers were at that time, um, he made the sacrifice to be more local,
Mhm.
and I went off.
Mm.
And I think a lot of people forget that piece too, is that,
Mhm.
especially if you have you're in a partnership with someone,
Mhm.
and now you make that sacrifice. And back in the day, that was always quote unquote, and I do that very specifically, that's
Mhm.
the man's role.
Yeah.
But these days, and for these women to get there, the men have stepped back and
Mhm.
allowed their women to go for, I mean, look at our vice president, her husband, when she went for it, he said, you know what, he quit his business. He
Mm.
said, let me take a step back, because I'm going to support you 100. 100.
Yeah.
And it takes that. It takes somebody to in that relationship to take that step back. And it's hard. You don't want to take the step back. I remember, when I looked at everything, it wasn't my desire. I in a sense where I wanted to, I had that desire to stay home and watch my children and be that stay-at-home mom, but it just wasn't in the cards if we wanted to financially survive and thrive and provide for these children we decided to have. You see what I'm saying? So now what? And and those sacrifices are real,
Yeah. And I know we're talking about women leaders, but since you mentioned that, right, kudos to the men out there who do allow their wives to take that step forward, and they do take a step back, right? Kudos to them for doing that.
Because it is a conscious effort,
Yeah, it's very conscious. Like, cool. I don't know if he's watching, but Boo Boo, I love you. Love you, Boo.
And it's what we talk about all the time. They get behind the vision. They know that there's a path. I'm going to get on your path, or I'm going to get on this path, or we're going to get on this path together.
And that's the piece, she. It's we get on it together.
Yeah.
And no one is bigger than the other. It's not about counting the Benjamins. It's about together. This is the decision we made, and I think that's where you come to terms. In your relationship about. If I'm going to do this, then this is what it's going to take. And I think that's where we were. If I'm going to do this now, this is what's going to take.
Yeah.
Because to your point, Tracy, when we get there, we've earned it. We've already, the sacrifice and everything is like right there. So it's not about, hey,
Lamont.
It's not about, one better than the other, one making more than the other. It's about this conscious effort that you both make to say, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
To support each other.
Absolutely. And get behind that. So thank you to the men out there who have done that for their women. Kudos to Lamont. We're going to give Lamont an extra shout out. Yes. So just wanted to talk too about the fact that women have earned it, and that emotional intelligence that goes with being a woman leader. I think that that's another triumph of a woman. And I think, I'm going to say this as a woman, right? And a woman who has been in leadership roles in corporate America, that I think we do that better than the men do. No offense.
Come on, the double deuces on that one.
Emotional intelligence, I think we do that better, right? Because we are made to nurture, right? And I think when we take on management roles, we do a better job at managing people and their emotions along with ours.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, I'll just say this. And recently I was in a situation where, you see that come to play. And what men tend to do, and this also becomes why a lot of women do not go up in the corporate ladder, especially when there's a lot of men, because what I saw kind of playing out is that when a man does not want to deal with the emotional ways that a woman would bring, or deal with some of the emotions that women bring to the table, what happens is that they then tend to say, I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
They find a buddy and they link up with a buddy. And, I recently heard something and I was like, oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Because as opposed to your point, learning how to master emotional intelligence, which is a real skill, they avoid it.
Yeah.
Men, not all men, but a lot. But let us be honest. This is why a lot of women are not in the boardroom.
Right.
They avoid it. Find a man to like, okay, me and you, bro. So that they don't deal with that level. They don't deal with the issues in the workplace, and then they move up. So they ignore it. Yeah. And then move up. And I recently kind of like peeked that out. And I said, oh, okay, because they didn't want to take the time to learn that emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Because the ones that do, meaning the men, because there's men out there that do, I'll give my boss big kudos. He does that because he purposed to work with a lot of women, because he said what women can do, we outshine. He said, I've learned women outshine a man.
Right.
I learned to put them on my team.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, love that he said that, right? Because a lot of times the men will shy away from that, right? Because they may be emotional, in fear of the women kind of taking over the role, right? Or even going beyond the role that they're in because they can't take it, right? They know that the women are emotionally more intelligent,
right?
Instead of aligning with the women, right? Because we are some of the most trustworthy people, right? If you align with us, we could take it together, right? Absolutely. That's what some people don't realize about most women leaders, right? So just wanted to put that out there. I am going to recognize people. Hey, Courtney, thank you for joining us. We love you. Thank you for coming on here. And then we have our very own Brandy. We miss you, Brandy. And we hope you are feeling better. For all of those who watch FEM Talk, our very own Brandy Johnson is sick tonight, so she could not be with us this evening, but we miss you, Brandy. And thank you for just jumping on and giving us the love. Lamont says, or they attack, talking about the men out there. So thank you, Lamont, for being on here. We got Courtney again. He said it is a very different dynamic between men and women in the workforce. Yes, absolutely. It is. And Kim McGuire, hey, Kimmy, we love you. She says, you ladies are on point. Yes. We got Brandy again throwing kisses and Courtney telling Brandy to feel better. We thank you guys for joining us. If you are just jumping on, we are talking about women leaders, challenges, triumphs, and backbiting. So here we go again. So we are talking about the triumphs first, and we were talking about emotional intelligence and just, Melissa was mentioning about her own manager who understands the emotional intelligence of a woman and how important it is to align himself with women. But most men out there don't do that. I can remember being in corporate, and I'm acting like it's so long ago, but this was a prior employer some years ago. And I can remember being put on this project. I was told that I had to do this system migration and being put on this project. And they said, we're going to give you the resources that you need to do this. And I had a manager, right? And I still had to report to my manager, but I also had to report to the division head of the bank. So, he was trying to infuse himself in places where he did not understand. And he could not wrap his head around the emotional intelligence of the young lady who was working for me. Amazing young lady, had come out of college. They gave me college students that they're like, I want you to train these kids, right? They gave me these college students, but I picked some really amazing people and they were doing a great job, but he just could not deal with her. I don't know if it was just because she was a woman or she was young, what it was, but he just blew up. And she came to me crying and she was ready to leave. Now, mind you, she was just out of college, right? She was not used to this type of behavior and she was ready to leave. So we took it in there and I said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go in there together. We're going to show him the proof and don't worry about him escalating, right? I'll take care of that part, but let's just give him all of the details behind it, right? And, I came in and he went on the attack again because she was coming in very upset. And I said, listen, here's the proof right here. We don't need anything else. We don't need to discuss anything else. There's no need to raise your voice. The numbers speak for themselves. The details speak for themselves. And when I said that, he immediately went down, right? And gave him the proof, he went down. But when it was her and him, he was just under attack. So you just have to learn how to deal with those people. And that's what women leaders do, right? Yeah. Learn how to deal with people and give them the details. Sometimes I feel like they think that women can't be just as logical, right? That we always come with our emotions, but no, we understand what we're doing. We understand our role. We understand our positions. We understand the details of our job. And that's what we're going to do, right?
Absolutely.
So, because we're nurturing beings, we are able to recognize the differences in personalities, in interactions, the way people, there's a big thing. There is a big push to know how to be coached and how to coach. So, because, like I said, we're already nurturers, we pay attention to that and the reactions and the results that come out of those interactions. You know exactly what you got when you screamed at the girl. So if you don't want that, there's a different way to handle her. And it not necessarily has to be the coddling and the listening to her cry. You don't have to do that. I'm a woman. And I don't, and I cry all the time. I don't mean I want to sit here and we're gonna have a cry fest.
Right.
Absolutely.
Said something to you that you don't like.
That's right.
Exactly. And
people.
Yeah.
Right. And being and also women triumphantly going into those traditionally male roles, you know, and able to handle what comes at them, and being able to, you know, like, you know, women, like I'm in the money field, and I'm also in the facilities field and construction field. And I've learned to go toe to toe with anybody because it's, you know, like to your point, Tracy, understanding what, you know, they want black and white. Okay, let's give it out black and white.
That's right.
They don't think that we can do that. But, you know, kudos to those women who sit right in those spaces and are able to be just as black as and white. To your point, Shima, knowing when to do that, knowing when it's going to benefit the situation, and then knowing when not to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
Knowing the balance, having that balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we have a comment from Courtney saying women are amazing at multitasking and the capacity to retain so many things, right? So many things at one time, right?
That's right. That's right. And it's true. And I think that's another one of our strengths. And to that point, you know, the men who take advantage of that, I mean, in the right way, meaning they understand that this is an asset on my team. Right. And they could throw you 10 projects and you'll be flip that thing out.
That's right.
Because you can kind of you know, you put them all in their little thing and you learn how to get those things. And then on the flip side, I've watched men kind of like, okay, I can't do all of that. You know.
Start.
So kudos to those amazing talents. Women.
Absolutely. Our very own Brandy says we are good at optimizing processes too. That's right, Brandy. That's right, Brandy. That's right. Yes.
12 steps down to 6 in a minute.
That's right. That's right.
It's my area right
we can look at infrastructure. We can look at processes.
That's right.
Love that stuff.
That it's more efficient. Right. So thank you for that, Brandy. Yes. So we're going to go to commercial break, you guys. We're going to do a quick segment, and then we are going to come back to continue to talk about women leaders. Here we go. Here we go, you guys.
Yay. Well, hello, and hello. I am here because I need to have a little talk with you. My name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm here to personally invite you to come in and experience a 90-minute free preview of my latest work. It is, I don't want to just say it's a program but it's the culmination of my latest work. And I call it P3, Purpose, Patience, and Passion. Have you ever been in the position where you know something through and through 1,000% with no proof? What about this one? When you found yourself at that fork in the road of your journey, and to the left and to the right are two different opportunities, but you can feel some of everything, good, bad, and everything in between. But you stayed stuck. It didn't take either. It belongs to all of us simply because we are. So join me, won't you, for this 90-minute free preview of P3, the Journey series. Just come in and check it out. Come in and be a part of the conversation. Let's heal. Let's learn. Let's go. See you inside. Click the button.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Whole Living with the Reset Coach. So you guys, we are going to talk about staying hydrated today. And why am I doing this? Because in the CWC, we are doing a water challenge this month for the month of November. So I know Courtney Jacobs is out there. We're doing a water challenge. So I wanted to talk to everybody about the importance of drinking water. Why is it so important to stay hydrated? Well, one thing is our body is made up of water, mostly water. So we need to keep bringing that water in to keep our body functioning. So let me tell you a few things that water does for you. It supports your heart health. And as most of you know out there, heart disease is the number one killer in the United States and worldwide. So it supports your heart health. It improves your circulation. It helps to increase waste removal. It flushes out toxins. It allows you to absorb your nutrients better. It helps to increase your energy and your alertness. It supports your weight loss. You need to stay hydrated if you want to actually lose weight as well. It improves your complexion. It supports your muscle building. It enhances your brain function. It prevents headaches, you guys, kidney stones. So listen, I want you guys to make sure that you stay hydrated. Drink your water. And when you can, you guys, make sure that you drink some alkaline water, right? This is going to help too. You see, I'm trying to turn this around so you can see this. Listen, I don't promote this particular brand. It's just the one that I have in my house at the moment, but this is alkaline water. Make sure that it is like a 9 or 9.5 in pH balance to balance out your body. Your body should be at a pH of 7, all right, to keep your body balanced. But when you are more aligned when it comes to your alkalinity versus your acidity, your body cannot harbor illness, okay? It will not promote illness if you are more balanced in your pH, all right? So make sure that you stay hydrated, drink your alkaline water, and even get in drinks that will give you some electrolytes. I also have something here as well that's high in electrolytes. It is, and again, I don't promote this brand either, but I just love it, so I drink it. But it is coconut water. This is natural coconut water. It has nothing added to it, but what it is natural in is all of the electrolytes. So we have calcium, potassium, magnesium, and phosphorus in this particular coconut water. So guys, stay hydrated. Drink your regular water, your spring water, your alkaline water, and those drinks that give you electrolytes that don't have a lot of added sugars in them. All right, get your hydration going. This has been Tracy, your reset coach, whole living with the reset coach, and we are going back to our show. Here we go. Hey, everybody, and we are back to FEM Talk. It is FEM Talk Tuesday, and tonight we are talking about women leaders, challenges, triumphs, and backbiting. So we're going to get back into the conversation, but there's 2 websites that I wanted to give you based on those commercials. If you guys saw the P3 commercial, go to laurenmichaelsharris.com. Make sure that you sign up for P3, particularly you guys, if you are looking to live out your passion and your purpose, get signed up for that. All right, laurenmichaelsharris.com. And then also I wanted to give you our very own Shima She's website as well. We next Shima.com. Go on there, donate to the cause. Shima will be going to Kenya, Africa in January. So make sure you guys go on and you donate. We are building women leaders with Women Empowered International in Nairobi, Kenya. All righty. So here we go. We're getting back to the show. Let me bring the beautiful ladies on. Again, we have Melissa, Girl Bossed Up. Hey, we are back. And we have Shima, She Talks. All right, you guys. So we want to thank Courtney because he is like tagging people left and right. Courtney joins in the conversation, you guys. Courtney Jacobs is the founder of Courtney Wellness Companion, and we are doing a water challenge in there today. So that has inspired my segment for today. So everybody, make sure that you are drinking your water. You can join the CWC. Go to Courtney Wellness Companion on Facebook and join in. All righty, you guys. Listen. We are talking about women leaders. We were talking about some of the triumphs. We ended up talking about emotional intelligence, but I wanted to get to some of the challenges because there are so many, unfortunately, right? Right. Mimi's got her glasses down. She had to pull them down, you guys, because there's so many. So we mentioned an amazing woman CEO in the beginning, Lisa Sue, because she is the highest paid. But we all know, let's just start the conversation off here, that there is a salary disparity between women leaders and male leaders out there, right? So we just want to just talk about that as well. So it is reported that women make 84.6 cents to a man's dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's a 16% difference.
Right.
In comparison, I know recently my association did a soft, analysis, not technical. Mm-hmm. And it was found that there's a 6% difference amongst all of the people in my, field and that serve, in my area, mm-hmm. in comparison for men and women. And mm-hmm. there's more at this time. The good thing is, there's more women, or we're at least half and half now. Mm-hmm. But even though we're half and half, they make 6% more than us. Yeah. And I know from my years of experience, I do not have a comparative salary for those that have the similar experience. And, it's a struggle. Yeah. And talk about, you say, the challenges. And I think the problem that I have with it is that when you go to people to address this, they don't want to address it. Mm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They do not want to address it. They do not want to deal with it. They want to sweep it under the rug. That's why I applauded last week when we talked about, the woman coach that's making, the first one that's really making that kind of money. I applaud that because it takes that leadership in that organization to say enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Let's pay our women what they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. And applaud the fight too, right? Because there was a journey to get there for that woman coach, right? It was a journey for her. So for applauding the management for recognizing her, but applauding her too for her fight and her struggle to actually get there and to never stop the fight, really, right? Because I can remember going to management and corporate, and they tried to coin it under, well, you're not really supposed to know what other people make, right? Don't do that. Right. Don't do that, managers out there, right? Recognize your people for their skill set and for what they bring to the table, how they're contributing to your company, and not just throw it under the rug, like Melissa said. Recognize people for what they're doing and not just try to coin it as an HR issue that you're not supposed to know somebody else's salary. Listen, there are industry standards out there. It's reported. That's why we have these numbers, right? Because it's reported. So regardless of if you know somebody in particular salary or you're just looking at the industry standard, we know that we are underpaid. There is a disparity between men and women when it comes to salary.
Yeah. And I'll be remiss if I don't say this. Mm-hmm. Some of the fault is our own. Mm-hmm. We do this to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, so many of us are so happy to get to the table. Mm-hmm. We take the pennies that are thrown at us. Mm-hmm. And I've been guilty of that too. So, mm-hmm. I understand, because you are excited that you have this opportunity. Mm-hmm. So in your head, you're like, I'm not going to fight it. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, once you get into that door, everybody knows your best negotiations when you come into the door.
The door, yes.
So if you don't go for broke when you come into the door, don't think you're gonna have it once you get in the door.
Once I get there, right?
Yeah, that's far and few between when you have that kind of thing. You need to come into that door asking for broke, so that you can get what you need and understand the power you yield. You know, I had a great conversation with a young lady recently, and she's like, well, I said, girl, you a commodity.
Yeah.
You understand your commodity?
Yeah.
And when, I guess she went back, thought about it, and she started wheeling and dealing and got what she wanted. I said, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's
when you
right.
understand your own worth and what you bring to the table, and be confident. I know nobody else is bringing this. Show them. Nobody's gonna show it off but you. So show them what you got at the table, so that when they wheel and deal, they say, well, she come with all of this.
That's right. That's right.
I think early on is one of the times I ran into that thinking when we first started working in corporate, and they have you in this mindset that when you offer the job, you're offered this amount, and it's not negotiable, because it'll say that in some of the paperwork. Oh, this salary is not negotiable. And then in the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, well, then that's what they offer me. That's what I'll take. And it took a lot of getting on the job and then showing what I know, and being willing to be taught, educated, trained, and then finding my own education on the outside, becoming a bigger asset and commodity. And realizing, okay, it's okay to walk away. Have I ever walked away? No, I didn't have to. But it's okay to walk away if it's not what you want or what looks lucrative to you.
That's right.
There's negotiation in everything.
Yeah, I was going to say it is always negotiable. It's always negotiable. Don't ever let anyone tell you that it's not negotiable. It is always negotiable.
The best part is you can negotiate several things outside of that. It could be money. It could be time. It could be anything.
Yeah, it's always negotiable. So remember that out there, ladies. But I want to also say, know your worth in all of it too, right? Recognize that you are worthy of the negotiation, and don't be afraid to walk away if you have to, because if you know your skill set, right, you are marketable, right? And you are valuable. So know your skill set, know that you are marketable. And if you have to walk away and know that you can get something else. And do what
and something better.
Yeah, exactly. So and I was going to say, and then do what Melissa said. Go in the door asking for it the way you want it, right?
That's right.
Because you are worth it. You are worth it. So know your value in that. So
but you know what, Tracy? You said something, and again, it is a pound of back in terms of, you said when you started, you said most women have earned the seat they're sitting in today. And that's the difference. I've seen many a man who was unqualified got the same job and got more money. Whereas we will sit back and say, well, and we don't, like you said, negotiate and go for it. Unknowing, or I'm not going to go for the position yet. And we wait till we have all these notches on our belt to go for the job. Whereas the male counterpart, he ain't wait. He said, I'll figure it out when I get there. So because we've already figured it out, so because we paid the dues, then let's take those notches into that boardroom. Let's take it in there when you're meeting with so-and-so. I remember when I came into my current, I said, oh, now I want to meet everybody. And I remember the person behind me said, you don't have to meet everybody. I said, oh, yes, I do. And he looked at me. I said, so set up the meeting. And sure enough, he did. And then when it started, one of the men had to, you didn't have to do this. I said, oh, but I did.
That's right.
Exactly.
So knowing those notches, now that because you've done the dues, you've paid the dues to get there. Take that dues. Print out that little, we creative, print out that paper and hand it out to everybody. These are all my accomplishments. This is all that I did.
That's right.
Lay it out.
That's right. Oh, and you
create a portfolio.
Oh, I love that. I love that you just brought that up. You have a track record, right? Make it known that you have a track record. So I love that, Melissa, that you said that. And you mentioned something else too about, men being put in the position who are not qualified. But it goes back to something that you were saying earlier, where men build alliances, right? They build alliances with each other and they start to bring each other up. Women, we need to do that a lot more. And I'm gonna give a kudos to Melissa, because I see what she does. And I don't even work in for her, but because she's my friend, like I see what she does, right? She is so good at building her people, you guys. So I just wanted to say, women, we need to do more of that. We need more women leaders like Melissa. I know before I left, like I always made sure that I put my people in position where they were going to progress, even over myself. I wasn't so concerned about myself because I know how to maneuver and I knew how to negotiate for myself. But I wanted to make sure that the people that were working for me were getting their due.
That's right.
Men and women alike. If they were doing their thing at work, you know what I mean? And they were showing up and getting things done and even going beyond what their job description was, I made sure that I let management know these are the people that you need to recognize, and these are the people that need to be promoted, and they need to get more money for it as well. And even when I was leaving, I made sure that certain people got pushed up before I went out the door. So, and I know that Melissa does this all the time. I absolutely love it. So I just wanted to mention that as well, because we need to allow our people to progress, and we need to recognize good people, right? Women and men alike, right?
Women and men alike.
That goes along with that knowing and paying attention to and being in tune to people and personalities and work ethics and things like that. I say that all knowing that right there. Oh, wait, we do like that? That right there, she is my boss.
Yes, right.
And even if she doesn't have to, which she does no matter what, nurture and develop and push me, what she recognizes is the leader in me and allows me. And I say this all well knowing, because there's people out there who are listening to us thinking they have to be in a certain position to be that leader. None of the people that I work with report to me, but because I have leadership abilities and skills and a mindset to lead, people will listen. People will follow.
Come on now.
They will cling to you because, for one, in my case and in her case, in all our cases, they trust.
That's right.
The path.
That's right.
They trust the leadership.
That's right.
And they follow because they either want or need to learn or glean from somebody who is already exuding leadership abilities.
That's good.
So you don't have to be the CEO. You don't have to be the supervisor.
That's right.
If you have a leadership style, if you have leadership abilities, you are going to lead.
That's right.
You moms who are home with your children,
you have to lead.
And the carpool.
That's right.
Somebody leading.
That's right.
Because the kids are getting to school, they're being fed, they're being taken care of. You're making decisions. It goes according to your industry, I'll say.
That's
the
right.
mom industry,
That's right.
the finance industry.
That's right.
You know?
I love it.
You just have to have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And in her case, you have to know the people's traits and allow them to do it.
And you just brought up something for me, right? There's a leader in everybody. You just have to recognize who you are and how you need to lead in your role, right? Because then that'll allow you to move up. But don't think that because you're in a certain position that you don't have the ability to lead. You're a leader in everybody, right? So just recognize that about yourself as well. So
I tell you, the strongest leaders I've ever met in corporate America, and corporate nonprofit, you name it, has been the secretary behind the CEO's desk.
That's right.
Let me tell you, many a secretary has led that corporation, and everybody know it.
That's right.
And those are some of the most powerful women in corporate America. Is the CEO's assistant, executive assistant.
Yeah,
I have a phenomenal executive assistant. Everybody know you go to that one or you go to that one, and they're gonna tell you how to do something. Come on, I got you. Hello, and they will tell you what to do. And they are leaders. You understand me? And you cannot look at a title and make a determination who's a leader. You have to see who's leading. Today I called it who's the big dog in the office.
And usually
find that big dog. Right. That's the one that everybody goes to.
That's right.
Come on now.
Executive assistants are usually that person, right?
They are usually the big dog.
What? Everybody in line.
And you gotta kiss the big dog's ring if you want to get somewhere. Stop it. I always knew the superintendent secretary. What? Yes. I always made friends with the superintendent secretary. God knows, unless I knew her, I couldn't get in there. So I made nice with Deborah. Go on, Melissa. Go on. Yes, thank you. Right. Come on now.
That's right.
We gotta get crafty out there.
That's right.
It's about strategy. Come on.
Here goes the voice of a good leader, right? Because you just said something else that I can't let go by, right? Know who you need to align yourself with, right?
But you was just talking about that, Tracy. About let me. This is FEM Talk, so we call it as it is. Come on, the Good Old Boys Network. That network still exists. That's right. And that network, we need to be a part of that and create our own. I decided I want to do both. I want to be part of that Good Old Boys Network, and I'm gonna create my own network. That's right. So whatever door I gotta push you in, okay, you go talk to the Grand Poobah over there. You come here and I'll take you over there. Yeah. Whoever you got to talk to. Okay. Know who the network with.
Look, you guys, you keep just bringing up all this good stuff, right? The other thing that I wanted to say too is don't be afraid to be the only woman at the table. Absolutely. It's okay, especially initially. Pave the way for the other women that are coming in behind you, but don't be afraid to sit at that table. Use your voice. In the words of Michelle Obama, if you're not using your voice, you don't need to be at the table, right? But don't be afraid to sit at the table, use your voice at the table, and be the only woman there. Sometimes that's the way it's going to be until you help other women come up in their leadership roles.
I think
a lot of times.
Said that too. Yes.
Yeah.
That is your right.
That's right.
Your obligation.
That's right.
I can't tell you how many times I was the only one at the table. I cannot. For years. Yeah, for years. Now you see, you get excited when you go into a room now because you see a couple of, what it is. You see some color in the room and you get excited. You run over them. What's your name?
Yeah.
But for years, I was the only one. So much so I remember when we used to go to my conference, I started bringing my husband because I was by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have nobody else to kind of link arms with and kind of, be with. So I said, Lamont, you got to start coming with me.
Mm-hmm.
But for years, I was the only one at the table. And that's okay. Learn how to hang at the table.
That's right.
Learn how to talk. I could talk a good sports game with anybody. Come on now.
That's right. That's right. So I'm with you on that because I was in that position too many times. The only one sitting at the table, the only African American and the only woman. Hello. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of that role, right? But there are now, it feels good to see more women now who are taking on leadership responsibilities and doing the doggone thing in the words right? They are doing the doggone thing in their roles. So you guys, listen, get up there, get at that table. Don't be scared. And if you are the only one, it is okay. Understand who you are in that role and sit at that table and use your voice the way you
encourage. I know we're going to take to the good, bad, and the ugly probably next. But part of what this is to encourage that person at the table.
Yeah.
You go over there and say kudos. I'm always go ahead, girl boss. Go ahead, girl boss. Right. If I hear something, I make sure I send a text. I give a high five. Or I give a pat on the back. Encourage that person at that table. It's hard I said heavy is the head that sits in the seat.
That's right.
So don't ain't no time to get all. We talk about that later. But when you see them in that seat, you give them a pat on the back and say how can I help you?
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Don't be stingy and don't be selfish, right? Because listen, you're not meant to be there forever, right?
That's right.
So you want to build other talent and help other people along the way. You're not meant to be in that seat forever. Nobody is meant to be in the same place forever. And don't try to hold on so tight.
Right. Do what women do. Be like you said, support that person. Then we still women.
That's
so that lady in that head seat ain't gonna always have the best day.
That's right.
It ain't gonna always be a nice road. That office and that table ain't gonna be a nice seat.
That's right.
So if you're alongside, underneath, over top, to the right or the left of her, give her a moment. Help her get that moment so she could break down, cry in the bathroom, wipe her face, and come back out to that table.
That's right. That's right. Come on, Shima. I was just telling Shima earlier. I'm like, sometimes I was talking about the dynamic of the ladies on FEM Talk, and I gotta mention these women leaders right here. But I was saying to her, like, I know, I feel like me and Melissa, we do a lot of the talking, right? However, I was saying to her, like, sometimes she just comes out with stuff. She's sitting quiet and then bam, like, yes, drop the mic. She just come out with something so profound. Her and Brandy are like that. Sometimes they're just sitting back and then all of a sudden, boom, they just give you something and we're like, whoa. Okay, ladies. So, the true women leaders, right? True women leaders. Sometimes you got to sit back, listen, and then pow.
Observe your surroundings.
Exactly. I love it. And Jeanette says, amen, amen. We are loving the engagement out here. Look at Brandy. There goes our other strong woman leader right there. That's right. We are loving the engagement out here, guys. We thank you. We're going to go to another quick commercial here, and then we're going to come back and close out this conversation. But just wanted to say we appreciate all of you out there. We're taking you back for We Dance. Here we go, you guys.
Hello, we're We Dance contestants, Lamont and Melissa Simmons. Listen, on November 6th, we're hitting the dance floor doing the merengue and the waltz to raise money for Women Empowered International,
a nonprofit organization that inspires women worldwide to fulfill their dreams as well as encourages them to give back to local and global communities.
We hope you'll support us by watching and giving.
All right. Here we go, you guys. Don't forget to go to Melissa's IG page at Mel Sims and get your tickets for this event. It is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a silent auction. There's going to be a dance competition. You guys want to get in there, watch it virtually, or if you are in the Philadelphia area, make sure that you go and watch it live. You guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. Get your dancing shoes on. You can dance with the couples as they are moving and grooving. And I don't know about you guys, but I was backstage dancing. Our very own Brandy Johnson did that commercial for Melissa. So yes.
He is amazing.
So just to close it all, Lamont said, love that commercial. Yes. Yes. Courtney, Pamela, that's because Courtney has been tagging people. Hey, Pamela, thank you for joining us. Courtney, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for just tagging people and engaging. We love it. Thank you. We appreciate it. So you guys, listen, we are almost at the top of the hour. This has been an amazing show, you guys. So I just wanted to bring up some of the other things that are struggles for women when it comes to women in the workplace and women in leadership roles. So being treated equally, right? And we did talk a little bit about that as well, but I just wanted to go through some of these. Trusting their own voice. We did mention that as well, sitting at the table and using your voice, but trust your voice. Yeah, understand who you are, know who you are, know that you are worthy to be there and use your voice. So trust in your voice. Build your own alliances. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the backbiting, right? But build your own alliances. If you can find a sisterhood, right? If you are in a workplace and you have somebody like Melissa or Shima or Brandy or myself, align yourself with women like that who are not afraid to link arms with you, to help you grow, to show you the ropes, whatever it is that you need. Sisters need to be aligned more often and bring and build each other up. So if you are in a position of leadership, make sure that you grab some woman along the way and help her out and bring her up. And if you are not, then make sure that you find the right woman leader to lock arms with. I know being in corporate, I always did that. I found women leaders who were in higher positions than I was, so that one, I could learn from them, learn the ropes. That's number one. especially if I was new in the role, learn the role, but then also just to learn the job, the details of the job, the culture of the company, understand how to maneuver, link arms with the women that you see out there who are not afraid to help other women. All right. So just wanted to talk about that.
And it goes back to what you said about knowing your worth. Know that, be confident in your abilities.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be concerned with the fact that I help another because she's going to take something that I have.
That's right.
It can't be taken away.
No.
You've amassed this education, this experience. It's yours.
That's right.
Own it.
That's right.
Own it and share it.
That's right. And listen, nobody can be you.
No.
So you just don't be afraid to be you. And there's nothing wrong with helping people along the way. There's nothing that anybody can take away from you. And if they do take that job, then you probably aren't meant to be there anymore anyway. So move along, then know when to move along. But don't be afraid to help somebody because you think that they're going to take something away from you. They can't really. Right?
Can't take away you.
That's right.
You can't take away you.
That's
and
right.
And there's enough seats at the table. That's the other thing.
Right.
There's no need to backbite. There's enough seats. There's so many empty seats at the table. Come on, y'all. There's so many empty seats at the table. There's enough for everybody. That's why I always tell a sister, look, what do you need to be successful? How can I help? We should be joining forces, joining hands, and figuring out how. Okay, I'm gonna help you stay there, and you're gonna help me stay here. And like Shima said before, y'all get together. You may cry together. You may do all those things. But when you get out that room, you fix that eyelash, you put on that lipstick, and you come on now. Straight that wig up. Come on now, and you keep them pumps moving. Don't let nobody do that. And that's why I despise, let me say this. Come on. I despise backbiting in the workplace. And I despise, and I hate it even more when women or women of color do it to each other. I had a couple of people do this to me, and I have no respect for women that does that. Even when, and I don't have to like you. Hear me. I do not have to like you. But I know, like you said, Tracy, when you started, I know what it took for you to get there.
That's right.
So for that, I will respect you.
That's right. That's right. And that's what it's all about, right? We don't have to be best friends, right? But if you have respect for people and their knowledge and their experience, right? Then treat them as such. And then I wanted to say too, there's so much growth in collaboration. If people really recognize the growth that can happen when you collaborate with other people, we are not meant to do everything on our own. If you've worked for large corporations, they didn't get that way from one person, right? Most large corporations have a lot of executives. You guys are in a school board. You have many different executives, right? Why? Because you cannot do it alone. So if you recognize the power in collaboration, you wouldn't be afraid. You would not be afraid to help somebody else, right? Because it all works when everybody's working together, right? So this is why when Shima was talking also about having coaches, right? And people that are mentoring you and help lifting you up. This is why coaches are needed, right? Because people need to be able to come together and collaborate and bring things to a head. So guys, listen, your managers can't do it without you. And you can't do it without your staff. So listen, and it goes on and on and on. Every person that's there is necessary. So help to build everybody up because these companies aren't built on one person alone. So you guys listen, lock arms with people. No backbiting.
Everybody has an upline. Everybody has a downline.
That's right. No backbiting. Learn to respect and support.
That's right.
And pay it forward. If you got there, pay it forward.
That's right.
Pay it forward to the next generation. It's well worth it. Well worth it.
Well worth it. Thank you, Melissa, for saying that. And I just wanted to show this from Courtney because he put that out there. So anybody who's interested in joining the water challenge, you guys go to facebook.com/Courtney Wellness Companion and join the CWC, join in on the water challenge. you guys, and just join in on the CWC anyway, because you get amazing information out there on how to take care of yourselves. All right, you guys. So this has been another amazing episode of FEM Talk. To my women members who are a part of this show, Melissa, Shima, and Brandy, I absolutely love you. And this show would not be FEM Talk and as effective and wonderful as it is without you ladies. So I appreciate the women leaders on this show. And we are out, you guys. We will see you next Tuesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on FEM Talk. If you guys missed any of the show, go to E360 TV on your Amazon Roku or Apple TV or Android TV or the E360 app. You can watch us on your phone, you guys. All righty. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.